I have to be honest with you guys. I've never been a proper gamer. I've been an occasional gamer, but for the most part, I've always played video games to be with my friends online. But things have taken an interesting turn probably around 2018 as I was transitioning from as a teenager to adulthood, and I was about to be done with the school, and then I was about to become a full adult with a job and all the things that comes with being an adult. My interest for video games started fading, and the last video game that I was really hyped for was Red Dead Redemption 2, which ultimately I dropped because open world and all that stuff was too much for me to take on, and my interest faded immediately. But obviously 2 years later, the pandemic happened, and with all the restrictions that were going on, I decided to get back into gaming. But I wanted something different this time around, because among all the video games that I've played, something was missing. I was about to get into something that was beyond my expectations. You see, I vividly remember that at the second last E3, God bless E3, the second last E3, they presented a video game that I was really hyped for, but then few months went by and I totally forgot about it. And that game was none other than Sekiro. You see, when I picked up Sekiro, I remembered that when I watched the E3 of 2018, I remembered the trailer of this game, but I had no idea what I was getting into. And back in 2021, when I was at home, I was blown away, because this level of challenge, which is the thing that I was looking for, the challenge, is something that blew me away, in a both positive and a negative way. My adventure with Sekiro has been full with up and downs. In the beginning, it was really frustrating, especially in the early parts where you are fighting certain mini bosses. But I had no idea what I was getting into yet, and just by taking on those enemies, it was already frustrating. And then the frustration started diminishing as I was getting further into the video game, and as I was getting accustomed to the patterns and movesets of the enemies. But Sekiro has been the first stepping stone that restored my interest into video games, and I will always be grateful, because this genre really opened my eyes and sparked something in me that I never experienced before. And the positive aspect that came with Sekiro, I would say, is as I mentioned before, the challenge. The challenge also that came with the other two video games that I'm about to talk to, but in general, the genre, or the Soulslike, or whatever, or as some people on the internet call action RPG. I know Sekiro is not a Soulslike, but it's part of the Fromsoftware. It's part of Fromsoftware portfolio of video games. And as I was mentioning, the positive aspect was the challenge that came with this video game, which made me feel like an addicted to more. I want more, and as I was getting further into the video game, although it was frustrating at times, the urge to rise to the challenge and go beyond that, to take down the enemy, and constantly looking forward to the next enemy to fight, and what was going to be the next curveball that the lore, or the history, or the story, sorry, not the history, the story of the video game was going to throw at me. And Sekiro has been really a solid 9 out of 10 in terms of a video game for me. As I mentioned, has restored my interest for video games, and it basically sparked that sense of challenge that came with the genre. That also allowed me to discover the Souls-like or action RPG genre, which I was never been accustomed to because, as I mentioned, I've always been an occasional video gamer. But anyway, Sekiro, yeah, 9 out of 10. The only negative aspect, unfortunately, I have to come clean with you guys, is the fact that I didn't take down the Demon of Hatred, because it made me crash out multiple times, and that was probably peak frustration. Not even Genichiro or the 2 version of Ishin made me that angry. But yeah, Demon of Hatred made me hate this game a little bit, and unfortunately I had to cheese that boss fight and make him fall off the cliff in order to get the platinum trophy. And yeah, that's it for Sekiro. So Sekiro, once I was done with Sekiro, it was roughly a few months before the release date, or release date of the release of EldenRing. Now, EldenRing has been something that I've never experienced before, and the fact that it came out right after I was done with Sekiro made me feel even more interested into getting into another IP of Fromsoftware, and also the type of the genre of Souls-like. And the only thing that made me raise my eyebrow was the fact that it was an open world. Open world, for me, it depends on the lore and how they have been put together. I get easily bored, so that was probably my biggest fear, that I was not going to enjoy because it was an open world. But judging from the trailers and from the concept arts and everything that was presented to us on YouTube and with all the programs that they had scheduled, it seemed compelling enough to give it a try. And yeah, I was blown away. My first playthrough with EldenRing took me like 280 hours, just like the first playthrough. And then I don't remember exactly how much I spent on the first playthrough of Sekiro, or generally speaking Sekiro, but like my first playthrough took me 280 hours, just like the first playthrough, and then obviously I managed to complete it. And I still have some unfinished business with Sekiro, with EldenRing, because I have not been able to defeat Radahn's version with Mikela in the DLC. That's the boss fight that I have yet to finish, so I can 100% say that I am done with EldenRing at 100%. The positive aspect of EldenRing have been the combination of all the innovations that Fromsoftware have presented throughout their series of video games, and they also have been able to take what it's a Dark Souls, let's just call it a Dark Souls video game, and put it in a open world environment. And yeah, the video game at a certain point becomes repetitive, and also I noticed that from a certain point on, the scale of difficulty basically skyrockets, especially when you get to the giant mountaintop, and then you have to fight Millennia. That was probably where the difficulty of the video game probably goes up. But overall, I would say that it's a fantastic video game. As a matter of fact, if I had the opportunity to pay to if I had the opportunity to remove every single kind of memory that I have with this video game, I'd probably do it, because I would like to experience once more the moment when you go down to Siofra River for the first time, when you take the elevator and you go down. That blew me away. and I heard rumors prior to the release date that it was going to be an underworld map, but I had no idea that was going to be that kind of environment, and the colors and the whole landscape underground. So yeah, for me, Elden Ring has been Elden Ring after Sekiro has been the confirmation that yeah, I'm back. Just like MJ 1995 when he sent the fax that he was going to come back. I'm back. That's how I felt with Elden Ring. And last but not least, Dark Souls 1. Now, you have to keep in mind that I have played like the last two video games back to back, and then I decided to go back and experience what was one of the first video games of Fromsoftware when it comes to Soulslike. I know this is in the first one because you have Demon Souls, but Dark Souls has been, for the most part, negative because I had no sense of direction. When it came to Sekiro and Elden Ring, you kind of have it, but in Dark Souls, it's really tough to get a grasp of what you need to do and where to go, at least for me. And I just want to say shout out to Fighting Cowboy, because with his playthrough, he really helped me to know what to do. And I have loved it at times, but for the most part has been really frustrating. And the only thing that kept me going forward and to complete the video game has been the challenge that I was looking for. As a matter of fact, the theme that links these three games and why I want to talk about this is because the challenge as a concept in video game is something that I've never experienced it. And yeah, I've played some occasional games where you have some boss fights and all that kind of stuff, but for the most part, those kind of video games have felt like they have been scripted. So this, yeah, you have patterns of enemies in these video games, but still you have that challenge that you need to rise to and take on and rise above it to go forward into the video game. And especially Sekiro, because Sekiro, yeah, you have like some movesets that you unlock, but for the most part it's just you against you and against the enemy, and you need to learn the patterns as well as be skillful to know where to attack and not to rush attacking. Sometimes you need, to have a space between you and the enemy so you can predict what the enemy is going to do. But anyway, let's go back to Dark Souls. As I mentioned, probably the video game that made me feel frustrated the most out of the three. But also I understand it because this one is the video game that put Fromsoftware on the spot with the Demon Souls. I haven't played Demon Souls, so I can speak for Demon Souls, but Dark Souls have been good to experience, just to see what Fromsoftware was like. And the thing that I appreciated and that I noticed is the fact that you can notice that Fromsoftware was ahead when with the way they have linked all the different locations of the map in Dark Souls. But besides that, the boss fights have been annoying, especially the one with the Smoke and Ornstein in Anor Londo. That one really made me question my existence. Yes, I have to be honest with you. And the least favorite areas of the game have been the library, for sure, because I don't know how much time I've spent in that library with those spinning stairs, and there are different parts of the library. They all look the same, but then you need to go up, and sometimes you get confused easily. Actually, sometimes most of the party get confused easily, at least for me, because after a certain point I didn't want to finish the game with the fighting cowboys, what's called, playthrough. I just want to do it on my own. And that one, the library, as well as the other part that is full of poison, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's like an underground area that has like structures made out of wood, and it's very dark. And I can't remember exactly at the top of my head, but yeah, Dark Souls, it was a good to experience. But when I tried to do the second playthrough, I felt the urge to stop, because you have to keep in mind that I've played all the 3 games back to back, non-stop, and I started feeling the fact that it was taking a toll on me, and I was burning out. Like literally, I was burning out, and I finished the video game, and then I decided to get into it again because I wanted to do the other ending and the DLC. But when I got to the Copper Demon, I could no longer. I felt that I was no longer able to fight him in his small courtside arena. Yeah, basically I was getting in. I was crossing the fog, and then I was able to take down the dogs. But when it came to fight him, I was no longer able to do it. Maybe because I was in a rush, because I wanted to experience the DLC and do the other ending so I can get the platinum trophy. But yeah, I started feeling that I was getting burned out, and I decided to ultimately stop playing, because I felt that it was no longer worth it. I am extremely thankful that I managed to discover this kind of video games that have this kind of challenge, and also getting back into video games and give them another shot, because as I was getting older, most people were making fun of me because I was still playing video games and I still had interest for video games, and that played a huge factor in my head. And ultimately I decided, you know what, it's no longer worth it. And I was getting tired of paying for online and having to schedule days where I would play with my friends online. And that combination of things made me quit video games. But ultimately, the Souls-like or action RPG kind of video games made me come back into video games and give video games as a media a shot, and also to not treat it as a superficial kind of medium, but to get deep into the lores. As a matter of fact, this series of video games made me really appreciate the content creators on YouTube with all their videos about the lore, the different interpretations, and the possible sequels, and what the main characters and the NPCs could have been prior to us meeting them, and how the world was prior to us showing up, before, you know, being an post-apocalyptical world. But yeah, I have yet to complete Dark Souls 1, because I want to do the DLC and the other ending, as I mentioned. And also I would like to play the 2 and the 3, as well as Bloodborne and Armored Core, of course. But also I would like to play other Souls-like video games from other studios, as well as Lies of P, and probably I give a shot to Mortal Shell 1 and 2, and the other video game that I keep forgetting about, which is called Lords of the Fallen. Yeah, Lords of the Fallen. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys find my chatting interesting enough. Forgive me for my English. My English is good, but I don't have much opportunity to practice. As a matter of fact, I decided to do this video in a very long time because I felt like that I wanted to talk about this, but I've never talked about this to anyone. And ultimately, the need for the challenge that came with these video games, I will always be thankful to them. I know it sounds cringe and childish, but it is what it is. And let me know what you guys think about these 3 video games in the comments down below. If you want to see me playing them on the channel, I might think about do live streams and bring them on. And also I have other videos where I would like to talk about video games. As a matter of fact, I have I don't want to give it away, but I have like an insane backlog, both digital and physical video games that I would like to show you. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are interested in that video. And I'm Wasabi. This was wasabi for breakfast. I had blueberries today. They also actually nice, like they're not sour. But yeah, this was wasabi for breakfast. I'm Wasabi, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.